Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. For today's video, we have a tier rank list challenge. We are going to be looking at every single NBA team's highest paid player, and we are going to be ranking them based off of these categories of paying them anything, them being worth the contract, borderline, could be better, could be worse, overpaid slash not worth it, or Joakim Noah slash Luol Deng category. You can also toss in, bitch app. So Mozgov in there too, man. But yeah, so it's always interesting every single season to look at NBA contracts, just because I feel like we as fans, we definitely are victims of the moment where, like a few years ago, people were looking at CP3 and he was looked upon as like injury prone, old, overpaid. But now you might say his contract's actually kind of worth it, right, man? Or even Mike Conley last year was really bad for the Utah Jazz. This year has been near all-star level, if you ask me. So this should definitely be a very interesting video. Now, keep in mind, this is like 97% accurate. Like I know for a fact, well, obviously James Harden plays for the Nets now, but they had him and John Wall listed because they had the same contract. So we'll rank them based off of the Nets and stuff. But for the most part, man, it should be pretty dang accurate up in here. Also, I guess Oladipo is now on the Rockets, so yeah, it'll be completely fine. I guess the only team that won't get ranked in this case will be the Indiana Pacers. Sad to say, but sorry, Pacer fans, man. You guys got so many great contracts, so you guys got so many great players, so you are just blessed with smart management. So yeah, if you guys don't mind dropping a like on this video, 1,000 likes is always the goal. And of course, check out my second channel, Extra Crispy, for daily NBA content over there. Also, probably will not be a video tomorrow, man, Super Bowl Sunday and stuff like that. We don't care about basketball on Super Bowl Sunday. I care about basketball, but probably the minority on that, right, man? So yeah, let's go ahead and get going on this. First up, we have Tobias Harris. So Tobias has had a really good season, currently getting paid $34.4 million a season. So when he initially got that contract, I thought it was definitely a little bit of an overpay, but he's been really nice for the 76ers, a big part of their success this season. I'm going to say it could be better, it could be worse. You know what I'm saying? Like if Tobias was getting paid like $25 million, then damn, that's one of the best contracts in the NBA. But still, it's like that actually, I think it is a max contract, right? So I don't know if Tobias is quite worth the max, but he's still been really good, man. So the thing about him is like the consistency. It's like some seasons it's worth it, some seasons it's not. It depends what type of Tobias you're going to get that game in that particular season, right, man? So yeah, for Chris Middleton at $33.1 million, gets paid, to be that second option to Giannis. I feel like Chris Middleton is one of the best second options really in NBA history. He has such a low ego to him, but he puts up very efficient numbers. Just a guy that you want as that second guy to your superstar player being Giannis. I think he's worth it, man. I really think he's worth his money. Obviously, there's always better deals out there, but it's whatever. Next up, we have Otto Porter. So Otto Porter's interesting. He has not, he's had a lot of like injury issues and stuff like that. The contract is not good. I think we can already agree on that. So it's definitely between the whole like overpaid Joakim Noah type of category. But like Otto is still a solid 3-point shooter. He still can like score the basketball when healthy and stuff. So I'm going to say he's probably overpaid slash not worth it. Not quite that Joakim Noah Luol Deng category. Because he still like does something out there, Plus, if you guys don't know, the Luol Deng was the Lakers contract where he got paid literally like $1 billion a game. Joakim signed with the Knicks, got injured, and pretty much was done with basketball at that point. Played for the Clippers for a little bit. Just a little bit, man. Also, I think the Memphis Grizzlies for a little bit, too. Next up, we have Kevin Love. So, Kevin Love is literally the definition of, getting paid for what he did, not for what he's doing, which I personally do not agree with when it comes to NBA contracts. I feel like sometimes, the contracts are just too based off of like being like loyal to that player, which is good and everything, but at the end of the day too, basketball, it is a business, so you want to do what's best for your team. And I think we can all agree that contract that Kevin Love has on the Cavaliers is not best for the future of the team. So for me, Kevin Love is definitely overpaid slash not worth it. When he signed that deal, like there was a lot of talks because for years now that he was going to a different team, but he signed that contract and there's still once again trade talks with him. Next up, we have Kemba Walker. So Kemba Walker, Charlotte Hornets didn't quite pay him his money that he kind of deserved. As far as being on the Celtics, kind of the same case as like Kyrie Irving, or even like when Gordon Hayward signed with the Celtics. It's like a lot of people thought that those players were going to be like the leader go-to guys. But then all of a sudden, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown decide they want to be superstars and just be like way above their progression. So yeah, those are like the two main focus points of the team. So I'm going to say for Kemba, I love Kemba Walker. He's definitely struggling for the Celtics. But as far as him on this Celtics team, I don't think he's really needed all that much, at least not for that price tag. Like, I feel like if they could have got Kemba for, $20 million, which would have been an insane contract to give Kemba Walker coming off the Charlotte Hornets seasons. But it would have been nice if some of that money could have been used to like some interior depth and stuff like that, some stoppers out there. I don't think he's quite worth it, man. I'm going to say borderline. But that's, obviously that can change if he becomes more Charlotte Kemba Walker. But right now, man, it could be a better contract based off the circumstance. Next up, we are going to go with Paul George. So, yes, I know playoff P is a thing. Pandemic P is a thing. But the fact of the matter is during the regular season, you're still getting that superstar caliber player. Him alongside Kawhi Leonard have been amazing for the Clippers. So I think that right there makes it worth it. Now, obviously, he has to perform better in the playoffs. There's, that's the big elephant in the room when it comes to Paul George. It's like, yeah, we know what you're going to get in the regular season from him. But what are you going to do for us, when we're actually trying to win a ring and stuff, right? We got Gorgui Dieng. Easy. So easy, man. So easy. And honestly, I'm looking at the list. I don't see a lot of like bitch-ass contracts, if I'm being 100% honest, man. But Dieng definitely falls into that category. That is a bad contract. $17 million. I think he got that originally on the T-Wolves. Next up, we have Danilo Gallinari. $19.5 million is not bad. He's, been a pretty solid scorer going back to the Clippers days. Last year on the OKC Thunder. He's not been completely healthy yet, but when he is healthy, if he become like a 17-5 type of guy, I think that's worth it. His contract wasn't too bad. I don't think any team really offered him like an overpaid amount of money, but that was kind of worth it. Next up, we have Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is definitely a worth it type of player. I don't think at this point I would pay Jimmy Butler anything, just because he is kind of getting up there in age. A little bit limited offensively. Obviously, he has games where he goes for 40 points, but there's also other games where he's more like the 7-point, 8 assists, 7 rebound, plays good defense type of guys, which those guys are extremely important. But I think he's worth his contract. I would not pay him any more than that. But he's great for the Miami Heat. Gordon Hayward. So Gordon Hayward this is the definition of those suck in the moment interesting ones. Because, when he signed this contract, we were all roasting, man. We were all roasting completely. But now he is putting up literally like better numbers than his all-star season on the Utah Jazz. So I'm going to try to be like, look at both sides of the things right here, where it's like in the moment, it's a good contract. 3 years down the road, I could see it being like not great. So I'm going to put Gordon Hayward in the category of could be better, could be worse. I think that's the definition. Front loaded, it's been worth it so far. A few years down the road, maybe we kind of wish we would have maybe not paid him so much going then. Okay. Mike Conley. He's got 1 year left on his contract at $34.5 million. So at the beginning of the season, I would have said overpaid / not worth it. But the way he's been for the Utah Jazz, I think definitely moves him up to the borderline. Could be better, could be worse. Let's be honest, man. Like, Mike Conley's a great point guard. He's always middle of the road to like the top 10 range, somewhere between there, depending on the season. He's still not worth $34.5 million. He's still not worth that to me. It's a lot of money. Typically those $34.5 million contracts are for either number 1, number 2 option. He's been great though behind, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, but $34.5 million, he'll never see that type of contract again. I don't care how good of a season he has. So yeah. All right. Next up, we got Buddy Hield at $24.9 million. So with Buddy Hield, you get a top 3-point shooter in the NBA. As far as like moving the needle for the Sacramento Kings, they've been, they're a fine team at times. Other team at times they look really bad. I'm going to say a borderline could be better, could be worse. I'm indifferent about Buddy Hield. Like, I recognize he's a good player, but he's also not like the best player. He's a good player, man. Okay, Julius Randle, I think, has been worth it, man. Okay, so he's been roasted a lot, but fact of the matter, Julius Randle is still an extremely, pretty young player. I think he's like 25, 26, something like that. He is like the San Antonio Spurs back in the early 2000s, where one season they're winning the championship, the next season they're not winning the championship, then the following season, pretty much the odd years is when they were successful and won championships, like from like 99, 2001, 2003, 2005, something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers, but Julius Randle's the same way, where every other season you get a different version of him. And this season, he's been worth that damn money. So he's been really good. LeBron James, easily pay them anything. You get so much of LeBron. LeBron is the type of guy where throughout his career, you're like, damn, like if that salary cap didn't exist, he would probably be getting paid $100 million a season. With LeBron, you obviously get the playoffs. You get potential championship. You get the marketing. You get so much of the man. Pay him literally anything. All right, next up we got Vucevic. To me, Vucevic is definitely worth his contract. He has been a beast this season, man. And, I understand at the same time, too, you might say that he's kind of slowing down the Magic's rebuild in the sense of Mo Bamba not getting developed. But when you have a guy like Vucevic that's that good, I don't care who's on the bench. Like, Vucevic is putting up these numbers. Vucevic is being the leader of this team. Vucevic deserves the $26 million. That one's easy. Okay, next up we have Kristaps Porzingis. See, Porzingis always makes me a little nervous because with Porzingis at $29.5 million, when he's playing, he's a damn superstar player, but he gets injured a lot. And that worrying something about him getting injured is always going to be in the back of the mind. Enough where I got to put him at borderline. I do feel like there would be a better contract to be had, but with Porzingis, you're getting paid based off like what he could be and what he is when he's healthy. But, reality sometimes can be a biatch, man. A biatch ass, okay? All right, Kevin Durant, pay him anything. This man can literally come back from an Achilles and has played as good as MVP season, if not better. Easy. Next up, we have Nikola Jokic. Pay them anything. That's good. Victor Oladipo, $21 million. I think he's damn worth that, guys. Now, obviously, coming back from injury from last season, but he still has really nice games. I still think he has a tier that he can move up as a player to get back to his all-star form. But he's definitely worth $21 million. Like I said, man, like when healthy, Oladipo, Buddy Hield, who are you taking? You taking Victor Oladipo. So, yeah, I think he's actually underpaid, if anything, man. I actually should have put an underpaid category on here, but it's all good. All right, next up, we have Steven Adams. Steven Adams definitely is not joking Noah Luol Deng category, but he's definitely not worth that contract, man. When he got that $100 million about 4 years ago, like everybody said it was an overpay. Simple. Blake Griffin, definitely an overpay. A lot of it comes down to motivation. He was good 2 years ago for the Pistons. He had his best season literally in his entire NBA career. But now that $37 million, the way he's been playing, like not only is he like hindering the growth of the Pistons rebuild and guys like Sekou Doumbouya or Sadiq Bey, but also the contract's so large that nobody wants to take him on. Because, I guess like the only way like you can get something to work with here is like if you did a trade of like, a bitch ass contract of somebody like a Dieng or something like that. But then the Pistons have to be willing to take that on. So, and how much is Griffin can help like a team like the Memphis Grizzlies? So not only do you have to like find like that fit, but also the contracts to make it work. Siakam, $30.6 million. Okay, so Siakam is no doubt been a disappointment this season, but I still think he's worth the contract. He's been not great this year. But last year, he was still the top, where he was a top power forward, not the top power, that's Giannis. He was a top power forward in the NBA. I think he'll figure things out. He's still a really good rebuilding piece. $30.6 million, that's really good. James Harden, MVP caliber player, pay him anything. John Wall. Okay, so John Wall is going to be interesting right here. Because John Wall, to me, I feel like has a chance to be an all-star this season. But in the end of the day, that's still a bad contract. It's an overpay, not worth it, man. Like, I don't want to put him in the could be better, could be worse. John Wall is a fantastic point guard. Just because you're overpaid does not mean you're overrated. It does not mean you're a bad player. John Wall does not deserve $41.3 million a season, especially for however many more seasons down the road, especially coming off not playing 2 years of basketball. Now, so far, he's been great. He's been coming back. But if he gets injured or something, re-aggravates an injury, then, oh my God, it's going to put Houston Rockets in a really bad place. But so far, so happy for how he's been playing. DeMar DeRozan, $27.7 million. Been pretty solid for the Spurs. I actually like power forward DeMar DeRozan a lot. They've been utilizing him at that spot. Borderline could be better, could be worse. I don't think it's a bad contract. 27.7, like, you just compared to some of the other contracts being thrown out. It's not that bad, especially I think he's only got 1 more year left on it. Chris Paul, been great the past 2 seasons. 2 years ago, I would have said this was a overpay. But Chris Paul has been like an ageless wonder. He's been relatively healthy the past few seasons. Any team he's been going to, you know, getting away from like James Harden and stuff he's had success on. I'm going to say he's worth it. He's worth the 41.4. Al Horford. Al Horford just had like a 26-point game for the OKC Thunder. I'm pretty sure Shea was out for that game though, but Al Horford, oh God, how do you... He's not joking Noah Luol Deng, because he definitely has room to where he, like, Deng's doing not a damn thing for anybody. But not Victor Oladipo, I don't know why I said him. I think I saw the Thunder, and Oladipo used to play for the Thunder. Al Horford still has something to offer a championship team. But he's still overpaid. But he still puts up numbers when needed. Or sometimes. He's right there. Okay, next up we have Karl Anthony Towns. Worth it to me. I wouldn't quite pay Cat anything because he has not really proven that he can like lead a team successfully in the playoffs and stuff. So that's not really worth like pay them anything type of numbers yet. But 29.5 is definitely worth it for Cat. Like that's a solid contract to have for one of the best scoring big guys in the NBA. Lillard is definitely a pay them anything type of player. He's actually, damn, you actually look like look at that contract compared to other guys. Like compared to Curry, $43 million, $32 million. Compared to Harden, Jokic is really underpaid too, man. Curry is definitely pay them anything, easy. And then last but certainly not least, Russell Westbrook, $41.4 million, man. Oh, man. Because this is like, Russell Westbrook is the definition of offending NBA, or offending, NBA fans. Because, like, with Russell, you still get numbers. You don't get efficiency. You get a fun player to watch, but it doesn't really always lead to wins. He can't really play with other superstars and have success. He can play by himself and maybe get to the 8th seed. Oh, man. Is he overpaid, though? Could it be better? The contract could be better. It couldn't be worse. Because that's like max contract money he got paid, man. I think at this point in Westbrook's career, if you want to win a championship, which is the ultimate goal, let's be honest, man. We all want to win championships, right? I feel like giving Russell Westbrook $41.4 million is not worth it. I'm not trying to hate on Westbrook, guys. I think trust me, I understand his greatness. But I also understand the importance of smart contract, financial decisions, giving guys the right contracts, those contracts and those players and the combination of all of it leading to success and winning championships. And Russell Westbrook at that point, man, is overpaid. He is. And you guys can't use the example of getting to the finals. Because, like, the one year he got to the damn finals was with James Harden and Kevin Durant. But he wasn't getting paid no more $41.4 million either, man. And then once he got that max contract, they decided to pay, Westbrook over, like, James Harden. They didn't sniff the finals, man. I hate to say it. Overall, though, I think this is a pretty good list. I like it. And, I'm keeping in mind the dollar signs right there, too, man. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed this video. This is a lot of fun to make. I love doing these tier videos. If you guys like them, drop a like on this video. Maybe should drop that like. I already said that. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. That's all we got. Peace out, guys.